quilting patterns, many of them bookmarked. I guess those were the ones she wanted to save to make. She was a stoic woman. Her faith was unending and strong. Jill considered Mom her mentor of her faith. They would often talk about God's forgiveness and the many blessings he gave our family. She taught our grandchildren to keep their faith. She put her life in God's hands, knowing that he guided her in all she did. She told us that she was at peace when she was ready to join her Lord. As we went through many of the books in her home, we found 20-plus Bibles, every single version you could ask for. Every version's filled with bookmarks, notes, underlined passages. I remember sitting in this church, in this sanctuary, reading verses for her, just because I didn't want to pay attention during the service. Unfortunately, COVID-19 took her physical church away from her, but that didn't stop Mom from her worship. Not having access to the internet, which we think she would have loved, she found Sunday services on various channels of television. We told her she could watch them online, service on the phone, but she said she found her own way to worship. Family was an important part of her life. She believed in strong family ties and family traditions. Her grandson Joe recalls a favorite memory of sitting in her room talking about his mom, Karen, as a child. Karen passed away from cancer, and as one of the biggest challenges our family has faced, she instilled the importance of family in all of us, because your family is always there when you need. Don't get me wrong, there were fights, quarrels, and every typical sibling rivalry you could have among us. Like the time Aunt Julia threw an orange at Gary, barely missed him, but it hit the newly wallpapered wall behind him. Oops, I guess. We survived. Those experiences probably made us stronger. All of us are unique individuals. Each of us live our own lives, but when a family member needs support or there's a celebration, we're always there to step up. Friendship was very important to my grandmother. She had many long and wonderful friendships through the years. Friends of each of one of us become friends of all of us. Our extended family is very wide and varied. Mom believed in celebrating birthdays. Whenever anyone had a birthday, she fixed the special meal and the dessert with the entire family attending when it was possible. I'm sure this tradition is still going to continue as we go along. Mom was always busy. She had a multitude of interests and activities. She did Meals on Wheels, the Tidewater Antique Society, May Farm Garden Club, as well as volunteering at Kings Grant Elementary School, helping children read, strengthen their reading skills. Reading was a passion. She was a lifelong learner. Our home was filled with books and magazines. When she had breakfast, she read the newspaper cover to cover. She was a regular at the public library and enjoyed bookstores. She was always ready, reading usually multiple books at a time. I can't read one at a time. Don't know where she got that from. We found multiple notebooks listing all the books she had read and the books that she wanted to read. Her granddaughter, Kelsey, remembers sitting in the den together at night, reading books or talking about their favorites. She could be found reading and watching the birds and squirrels from her screened-in back porch. But those squirrels would eat her pecans, and she asked her grandson, Michael, to get her an airsoft gun so she could shoot the squirrels away. He happily obliged for you. She enjoyed crossword puzzles and word searches, anything to keep that brain sharp of hers. She enjoyed flower arranging. She was a member of the garden club, winning numerous awards. She and Miss Strange would be called to create floral arrangements for church occasions. I'm sure the Norfolk wholesale florist knew them by sight. She loved flowers, and when she would have around her house. One of Cameron's favorite memories is learning the art of flowering arranging from her. She instilled that talent in Jill and Cameron, not so much my Aunt Julia. Mom loves to cook. She had a tall cookbook because all her cookbooks, as well as notebooks containing favorite recipes, were the ones she starred and checked. I took a couple of them from her house, going to learn a lot of new cooking techniques from her. As I went through all those books, we found hundreds of recipes from newspapers, magazines, basically anything you could think of. On the weekends, it was a much lighter fare. Having to feed 5 children and a picky husband who would not eat chicken, she came up creative with her cooking. Cameron appreciates that Mom taught her to make instant mashed potatoes taste like homemade. When I learned that, I had no idea. Where's Cammy? It's insane. It's ridiculous. It's just all those holidays, Thanksgivings, they're always instant mashed potatoes. It's absurd. So do not get off topic. Baking was a particular joy. Cookies, cakes, and pies, of course, and her infamous almond coffee cake. Mom taught Sarah how to make that cake, as well as her key lime pie, which remains Sarah's signature dessert. At holiday time, we always have chocolate pecan pies, any kinds of cakes, and cookies galore. We found a list of what cookies she would make for Christmas, referencing the cookbook and the page number where all the recipes could be found. She made her regulars: chocolate chip, melt in your mouth, the peanut butter kisses, which were always my favorite, and her chocolate diamond cookies. I recall one day coming home from baseball practice, just driving down Oxford Road, just, hey, we're going to stop in, see what Grandma's doing. Lo and behold, she's whipping out dozens of cookies. Sat down with half the team, and we hung out with her for a couple hours. I think she really, really enjoyed it. Cameron learned to appreciate the art of a homemade cake, by Grandma's strawberry cake being the best. Other family favorites are the best chocolate cake ever, the apricot brandy pound cake, and the Italian cream cake. Parties and sewing, what do those things have in common? Mom made